That's cool. That's cool. So y'all, everybody's on the call right now. They know this first slide, so we can talk about this. What's up, Francis Wallace? You can stay muted. I was just speaking to you, sir. We know that the Jobs Act, back in 2012, that President Obama signed into law. Good evening, Dr. Malone. What really made all this possible for us. And once we got a hold to the information earlier this year, we really just been evaluating and just kind of trying to see how do we understand everything that's going on with this Jobs Act and how to implement it and use it. And I think we've been doing a pretty good job. I mean, I'm constantly getting reaffirming information to let us know we're on the right track. Early on, I was like, well, are we in some gray area here? Are we kind of, meshing two things together or whatever? But I'm more and more, solidly convinced on what we're doing. And I'm just so appreciative of our ability to raise small dollar investments from ordinary Americans for any of our ventures that we're doing. So we're doing good right now. And then a second law that we use to back up what we're doing is a separately and totally different. Each one of them doesn't have to work in conjunction with each other. It's just two laws that are applicable to what we're doing. And that's the gift tax law. And so any one person can contribute up to $15,000 a year to any other one person without having any tax implications from any other two people. And the person that's contributing the $15,000 can do that to multiple people, so long as they don't go over $15,000 in a calendar year without any tax implications. So the Jobs Act allows us to raise up to $1 million per year. So we covered under two different separate but yet powerful laws. Okay. Now I'm using this consolidated presentation because I want you guys to be able to print these out to use them as the one-page overview. This is your 5-minute quick conversation with somebody, and you give them one, and then you take one, and you point out key things on the slide that you want to talk about. So let's start with the upper left-hand corner on this one with Tony Robbins, right? If you're committed, there's always a way. And that is so true. The only reason why we're able to continue to push forward and, attack the VIP level and do everything that we're doing with this opportunity is because we're committed, and that commitment allows us to do what we need to do to drive towards, getting it done for everybody. Focus your attention to the right-hand side of that top slide. Go to the right side where it says commitment means staying loyal to what you said you were going to do long after the mood you said it in is gone. Most of the time, a lot of people make those emotional emotional commitments, or they agree to it because it kind of sounds good or whatever like that. Let me give you a quick story on that, though. When I was in Ohio this last time, I was severely conflicted when it was time for me to present some information to two young ladies. Now, I initially was under the understanding that they had seen information and that they were, kind of understood what was going on. But it was obvious when I started to presenting that they were not, didn't have a baseline knowledge of information about this crowdfunding. And so I was kind of stuck like, man, what do I really say? Because I didn't want to be convincing. I didn't want to have to say it in a way where I had to emphasize a lot of things. And then they're going to take on my feelings about it. And I really wanted it to be their own feelings about it so that I can just strengthen their feelings as opposed to just transferring my belief onto them. Y'all see the difference there? Because that doesn't last long. That's the emotional part of it. And that emotional decisions normally don't last long until you back it up with logical information and then you reaffirm it with emotional. So I was a bit conflicted because I'm really believing that, you got to have a baseline of understanding and all that stuff. So I would say to you, the final thing on this upper left-hand slide would be the one from Bishop T.D. Jakes. Without commitment, nothing happens. You just got to be committed. And you know what? I'm not telling you to be committed to cash crowdfund or anything like that. I'm telling you to be committed to what you want to be committed to. Like, be committed to you and what you're doing, what you said you want to do it for and all that kind of stuff. That's what you got to be committed for, because at the end of the day, that's what you got to answer to. So, The ones who say, I'm doing it for my kids because I'm a single mom and all that, hey, you got the full support of us for that. But at the end of the day, you the one that got to do it. We're just here to help you do it. You know what I mean? So that's a real big deal with that commitment thing. Now let's go over to the right-hand side. It's true. $37 out of your pocket is all that it requires. $12 go to admin. $25 is a cash dollar donation to somebody that is already in the crowdfunding family with us. It's a $37 one-time get started, let's go. Now you do contribute some more times throughout the process of receiving more donations, but it's coming from your donations. So again, it's not coming out of your pocket. And so then we want to focus on creating that 248 completed 15 wheel archived wheel to spin all the way through all 9 levels. Go to the bottom left-hand corner slide, the bottom left, the last yellow block on the left-hand side underneath our methodology. And I know some of you are not watching these slides, but you're going to have to print these slides out and keep them with you so you can look at them and all that. But on the bottom left-hand side, for the ones who are actually watching the video, it says at the $100 wheel, that's the 25, 50, and the 100. At the $100 wheel, use the last 4 contributions to advance to the $250 VIP level and to come back into the 25, 50, and 100. It's a total of $425. You're using the last $400 of your contributions to make that happen. Because coming back into the previous levels nearly doubles the amount of donations that you receive, because one donation to a member in the community equates to 8 donations coming back to you. It's a 1 to 8 ratio. So imagine coming in on the $25 a second time, you initially received $200, which is 8 times 25. But now when you come back again, you're getting you're getting $25 times 16, right? That's a big difference from 1 contribution versus 2 contributions. So in a slide coming up pretty soon, I broke the money down showing how it affects your donations when you come back in. So this slide here on the bottom left is the plant the seed slide. Everything happens from the $25 wheel. It's a beautiful scenario. Look at those arrows pointing to the wheel. On the upper left-hand side, you see the first 2 contributions are used to fund your $50 wheel. So you're going to take your first 2 contributions when you're in the center of the 25, and you're going to donate to someone that's on the $50 level. And that's going to start you, that's going to put you in position to receive 8 donations at the 50. Now, you're still on the $25 level, and you get donations number 3, 4, 5, and 6. That's $400. That's 4 times 25. That's not 400. That's $100 from those 4 contributions. And you can now, at that point, use that to go and fund and fund someone else's campaign. You are one of their 8 contributors when you do that. Because remember, everybody does 1 donation in and 8 donations back to you. So those 4 contributions that you receive equal to $100 goes to the $100 level. Now, at this point, before you receive the last 2 $25 donations to yourself, you're on 3 wheels. You're on the 25, the 50, and the $100 wheel, and you only contributed $37 to get started out of your pocket. The last 2 contributions on the $25 wheel are literally $50 towards your campaign or towards your venture that you named, that you said you wanted to raise some funds for. So, I mean, everything is accomplished in that $25 wheel. So stay true to that, right? Go to the slide on the right. The results of flying through the rest of the levels, you can see level 1, 2, and 3. And you also can see the 25, 50, and 100, the same levels we just got through talking about. Well, that equals $1,400. I mean, I don't know if you're catching these numbers or not, but you came out of your pocket $37. You invited some of your friends or people that you know or even people you don't know, and 2 people say, yeah, I need to put myself in position to get some financial donations as well because I got something I'm trying to do. And then they convey that information to 2 of their people that they know, and now 2 and 4 came on board, and the next 8 are yours. So when that happens and they follow you to the 50 and the 100, the same way I explained that the first 2 contributions that you got, you went to the 50. Well, the first 2 contributions they get, they go to the 50 behind you. Your next 4 contributions went to the 100. When they get their next 4 contributions, they go to the 100 behind you. So everybody's just following the leader there. And so we say that in 30 to 90 days is a very realistic time to accomplish the archiving or the completing of the $25, $50, and $100 wills using this methodology. Now, the reason why we say 30 to 90 days is because you can come on to multiple wills at the same time. You can donate to other people at the various levels simultaneously. And we'll talk about that on a few slides down. But let's just look real briefly at phase 2 and phase 3, because we're going to talk a little bit more about it. But just briefly, understand that once you build your route, once you convey the information and the methodologies and the philosophies and even the marketing materials at the root level, which is the 25, 50, and 100, when you work in that level, you're strengthening that root. Because if you just bring in 2 people and walk away, but let's say you brought them on the right way and they understand what they got to do. Yeah, they can probably accomplish it because we're going to step in, we're going to help them out. But how strong would it really be if your 2 friends came on following your invites and then you're not involved? I mean, they can still do it because they're doing it for themselves too, but it'd be much better if you was involved in helping the process go along, because sometimes they want to hear from you. So never quit, never give up, never stop. And that's why the very first slide is commitment. You got to be committed to what you said you were going to do long after the feeling that you said it in is gone. And it's not a long time, especially not 30 to 90 days. You're going to be doing something during that time. So once you complete the route, you flow through phase 2 and phase 3 because the people are already following you. Next slide. So this the backhand side of this one-page overview. Remember, these first 2 slides are a consolidation of a complete briefing, and the first 4 slides are on one side. These 4 slides that are consolidated here are the back side. That creates one document that you're using as a 5-minute overview, so you can point out various things on the slide to somebody that you're talking to. So use it in that manner, and you're going to have they're going to have an increased understanding about what you're talking about. So on the top left, you'll see our 15-person tracking wheel. That is the same slots that are on your 15-person wheel. I just got it in a different format. So you see the green is you in the middle, then your first 2 is yellow, the next 4 is orange, and then the ones that are contributing to you, the 8 people in the red, those are the ones that are donating to your campaign. Right next to that, though, is 15 wheels that are archived. So everyone has a goal to archive their wheel. That just means they want to get their 8 contributions. When they come on board, their goal is to donate to somebody and to receive 8 contributions of their own. It's a 1-to-8 ratio. So when your 2 people that you invited and the 4 they invited and the 8 that they invited do what you did and complete their 15 slots on their wheel, that structure right there is self-sustaining through all 9 levels of the donating opportunities. It's self-sustaining. It's 126 people. It's absolutely amazing. And let's spend a couple more seconds here to explain why. If you're in the #1 position in the green, and in the 3rd level where there's 8 red, those are your contributing members. When the 8 people that are contributing to you have their 2, 4, 8, right? That means when they hit a wheel, they're going to archive, they're going to get their contributions as well. When the 4 people hit a wheel, when the 2 people hit the wheel that are following you, remember, everybody follows the leader, right? So when you go to the 50 and to the 100, then they come to the 50 and the 100 behind you, their wheels are being archived automatically. So understand, we're saying to complete your wheel, and we're also saying and everybody on your wheel should complete their wheel, but it happens automatically as you go from the 25 to 50 and the $100 level. It's a beautiful structure. And so in about 2 more slides, I'm going to tell you about 2, 4, 8, and that's what makes it all flow. So dream work and teamwork all works together. That's why we dream team. Look at the slide on the bottom left. And if you're not viewing this live right now, then the bottom left is a slide, a conglomeration of teamwork makes the dream work, because we can't do it by ourselves. I'm only one person. I'm not 15 people. So we have to bring on other people that have a similar like mind, and more importantly, that has a financial goal that they're trying to accomplish. And they want to use this system to make it happen, crowdfunding. That's all we're doing. We're authorized to do it. We're authorized to receive small donations from ordinary Americans as entrepreneurs. Now look at the bottom right. The final slide on this one-page overview is commit. Look at that word again. Commit to the philosophy, the methodology, and the teamwork, because there's multiple ways to accomplish goals. And people accomplish goals in different ways. It doesn't mean it's just one way, and if you don't do it this way, then you're going to fail. It just means we chose this way, and we was careful. And we studied, and we prayed on it. And we let the Spirit work in us, and we let time go by, and we didn't do it in a selfish manner. We did it in a selfless manner. So we did it with minimizing what is the minimum that we can do to get the maximum out of what we are doing. And we did it with saying, how can we be the most selfless and less selfish, right? We don't want to be all about us. It's got to be about the people we're helping. So that's the type of mindset that we have when we were developing what it is that we would do, the philosophy, the methodology, and the teamwork. So understand, that's where it came from. And so we believe in consistency and persistency, because you got to have that. I literally say you should be doing something every single day, literally. Either you're contacting somebody new or you're following up with somebody. That's just the bottom line. You either contacting somebody or you're following up every single day, period. But it's really doing that creates something else. It creates the predictability and the accountability. You're accountable to what you said you were going to do long after the feeling that you said it in is gone, and that's the accountability. And the predictability is when you bring in your two members and you show them the right way, and they bring in their two, and they bring in their two, and they bring in their two, that's predictability. When your wheel is archived, your wheel is archived. You have 15 people on that wheel. When their wheels are archived, their wheels are archived. The work is done. They just follow the leader after that. Next slide. This is the masterpiece that Bruce was talking about all these many months ago. He said, we're creating a masterpiece, and we didn't even know what the masterpiece was. We just knew it was going to be a masterpiece. Right, Bruce? Right, exactly. So here's a new slide. Here's a new slide. Because we talked about it a lot, and I sent it out in a text message. I think Angelina sent an email through MailChimp, I believe. Yeah, she's going to send this out in MailChimp to 500 people that's on our team. Even though there's more than 500 on the team, we got about 500 emails. So here we go. The same phase 1, the same phase 2, and the same phase 3 that we talked about on the previous slides, right? The 37, the 87, the 187, the 25, all that's right there. That's that $1,400. Look at phase 1, the first 3 levels, 25, 50, and 100. That's all the same. Nothing changes there. It equals $1,400 back to you. You came out of pocket 37. You contributed 50 from your donations. You contributed 100 from your donations. And the total amount that you amassed in donations was $1,400, right? Right here, we're saying do not come back into the levels until you get to your last 4 contributions on the $100 level, the last 4. Because when you complete and archive that $100 wheel, your 15 archived wheels from your 15 people are following you. It's really 14. It's you plus 14 more make 15, so don't get that confused. All 15 people, you plus 14 more, have archived your wheels, and they're following right behind you. Now, when you come back into the 25, 50, 100, and then advance to the 250 for the first time, your team is immediately right behind you. As soon as you go into a wheel, here come your 2, and then here come the 4, and then here come the 8 on all 4 wheels. Now look at the center phase 2. You have literally entered into the VIP level doing exactly what we said you would do, which is to flow through the second and third phase with no issues, because the people are already formed and following you, and your immediate core team on the wheel, all 15 of you have 2, 4, and 8 following you. So they're immediately getting paid out. They're immediately following you. And so there's that $425 that you contribute at the top in the center section there where it says phase 2 VIP level. You contribute $425 to restart on the 25, 50, and 100, and then go to the 250. You receive $3,400. So look at that for a second. You built the route and got $1,400, which is pretty awesome for a $37 contribution. That's absolutely incredible. But now, as you come back in and also advance to the VIP, it's a $3,400 payout. When you do the same thing at the $500 level, which is the fifth level, that's a $7,400 payout. You came back into the 25, 50, 100, 250, and then you advance to the 500 for the first time. When you archive that $500 wheel because your 2 people are following you, your 4 people are following them, and the 8 are following them, paying you out, and then your team is getting the same 248 because they have a completed archive wheel following them individually, that's $7,400. You're already over $10,000. Let's keep going. The $1,000 level, which is level 6, right? You came back into the 25, the 50, the 100, 250, 500, and you went to the 1,000 for the first time. That's a $15,400 payout of donations towards your financial venture that you're trying to fund. You're only at the 6th level, and you've made over $25,000 because you got the 1,400. You came back in, you got the 34. You came back in, you got the 74, and you came back in, you got the 15. Now you're at the final phase. Remember, your team is just following right along with you. Come back in to the 2,000, that's a $3,100 payout. So you thought $2,000 was a $16,000 payout. It's a $31,000 payout because you came back into all levels previous to that. You came back into the 25, 50, 100, 250, 500, 1,000, and you went to the 2,000 for the first time. And when that wheel archived because your 2, 4, 8 are following you, that was a $31,000 payout that week. Same thing with 5 and the $10,000. It's a significant amount of payout. And you look at level 9, all in total was $281,000 with this system. Next slide. So let me talk on these last 2 or 3 slides, just a little bit about who we are. You know, man, the Dream Team is literally making dreams come true. The Dream Team really allows you to dream again. You just gotta, match us. You just gotta say, you know what, I'm willing to dream again. I'm willing to commit to what I said I was gonna do well after the feeling I said it in is gone. I'm willing to commit because we got your back. Matter of fact, let me tell you what the real stats is. You do 10% and really we're gonna do 90. It's not that we overdoing it or anything. It's just that we developed the methodology, the philosophy. We have the teamwork. We're totally committed. We're doing what we said we were going to do long after the feeling we said it and it's gone. And we're creating these opportunities and these pathways for everybody to make it because it's just 248. It's just you bring in 2 people. And then we help everybody do exactly what you did, bring in 2 people. That's it. You got to find 2 people that have a financial need, period. You got to find 2 people that don't mind contributing to someone else's campaign at $25 to be in position to get all that I just shared with you on the previous slide. So we're a team of passionate people that want to help all members. That means somebody who came onto the team to accomplish their financial dreams. We use 4 basic marketing materials. We got a YouTube channel up and running with Jaquetta in Columbus, Georgia. We really appreciate her. Thank you so much, Jaquetta, for volunteering your service and your skills for that. The capture page came from 2 ordinary guys. We're in the middle of implementing that and working out some small kinks and bugs. It's nothing really major. We just got to get it out to everybody so we can use it more effectively. The 1-page overview is what I talked about at the beginning of this presentation. I want you to print that out and use it. And then the 4x6 cards was extremely effective when I purchased the first 1,000 cards and we passed them out. We have amazing reports about how effective they are because you got something in your hand and you can real quickly say, hey, check out this information. And on the card tells them to go to your link to get all the videos and stuff. I mean, that's easy peasy, lemon squeezy, as Paris would say. Okay, so crowdfunding understood, right? The ability to raise sums of money up to $1 million per year to support your financial endeavors. And then on the last one, so I can see this real quick. So the weekly calls, right? So we were so careful to be respectful and to be smart, really, to make sure that we're not overstepping what Team Foster's calls are, and we adjusted our call times to say we're going to, support. Dream Team will support Team Foster's call on Tuesday, and then on Thursday we do our Zoom training, which is now. And of course, remember, we send out the Zoom training when it's done and it's uploaded into Zoom. We mail it out on MailChimp, so everybody gets this presentation. And then on an email, we also send out the slides individually. So again, if you're not getting the video training, if you're not getting the slides, you gotta email Angelina Briscoe at her email, lena.briscoe, which is BRISCOE @gmail.com, lena.briscoe, because she's sending them out. And so we gotta make sure that you're getting them. On the bottom left-hand side is saying to you, 2020 club members and mastermind group. This is it's not really, I'm gonna call it new, but really it's just our normal evolution. Remember, we're in an evolving state of mind. From October the 1st to December 31st, we are in an evolving state of mind. It will only evolve if you allow the information to continue to come in, and you gotta process that information. You gotta ask questions for clarity. You gotta hear it 10 times. You gotta do it 20 times. You gotta do it for 30 days, all that kind of stuff. You gotta make it a habit, right? We're in a evolving mental state of mind during this evolution of 90 days. Because on January the 1st, we're gonna be in another evolution that we emphasize in something else. And we're gonna use what we learned during this phase, which is our mental growth, our understanding, and that's going to serve us well when we go January, February, March. Because everybody on this call, you're going to be done with the VIP level. It's a 90-day process. Remember the first 3 levels, they can happen within 30 to 90 days, but then it's just smooth sailing after that. So this is December. If you're a member right now in December, you should 100% expect that you well along your way on the VIP board wheels by the end of February. Definitely by the end of March. That's the first 90 days of 2020, all right? Mastermind and the 2020 Club is going to get us there. 2020 Club is kind of hosting and representing the young people on the team, because we want to be inclusive. We want to hear what they're saying. I want to know what they're saying about the marketing material, what kind of 3-way call. And let me tell you, this week on the 3-way calls, oh my God, this is probably one of the most busy weeks that I've had in a long time with fielding and working on the 3-way calls. And so keep on coming with those. I cleaned up my schedule so that I can do 3-way calls. So real quickly on the 2020 Club, thank you, Jaquetta Kennedy. Thank you, Gabrielle. Thank you to Maya in Ohio, and thank you, Monasia, that's in North Carolina by way of Ohio as well. Those 4 young ladies are communicating with each other on a group text, and Angelina is kind of the first point of contact for that group. And let me tell you, with the Mastermind and 2020, they have the same goal. So all of us on the Mastermind team, with some of you know who you are, and some haven't been told officially yet, but you are a Mastermind person. Like, I don't think I told Mike Bolton, hey, Mike Bolton, you're on the Mastermind. But he probably already know he's on the Mastermind team.
Thank you, sir.
So we're doing the same thing. What we're doing is we're implementing the marketing material so that we can verify what our ratio is. Right? So if you did it 10 times, did 2 people start? No people, 1 person? So when you did it 25 times, what was your rate of return on how effective the marketing material was? And then that's going to allow us to make some decisions when it comes down to the first quarter of 2020, because we're just going to use that information and say, you should have a realistic expectation that if you use the capture page, you should get 1 out of 15. Or whatever the number is. But we want to make it based in what really happened with our material, with our members, with our everything, and then we can really validate it. So let's finish up this slide. mastermind is a group of wise people who combined have over 500 years of team building success and have a strong desire to pass this knowledge on. And that's what's important about this. Yeah, we have the knowledge and the wisdom, but are we willing to pass it on? Because we are. Let's party and call to action. Join us on our inaugural Dream Team event, Dream Team Cruise on the 26th through the 2nd of July. We have fun, but we don't play around. We got a real serious mission here because we're helping out a lot of people. And as a result of that, we'll get everything we want because we help a lot of people get what they want. So let's party about it at the end of June. We can talk more about that. Most of you know what it is. Finally is a call to action. Take control of your financial life today. You know what? I guarantee you, man, I can give you 100% guaranteed certainty that somewhere in your life, you was like, man, I wish I had more money. I wish I could have had enough finance to do this thing or to do that thing or to support this person or to pay for that or whatever. Because I've definitely had it. And it doesn't matter how much money that you make. You can make $100,000 a year, $250 a year. You can make $50,000, you can make $20,000 a year. It's a common thread that people that make money kind of need a little bit more sometimes, right, to really make some things happen. With this crowdfunding platform, we're able to probably surpass any one of the financial needs that we had previously in our life prior to today. Any amount of money that we said we wish we could have had, we probably can accomplish that with this crowdfunding platform. It's pretty powerful if you haven't really figured it out yet. So the call to action is just take control of your financial life today and let us do it together. Let's help. All right, we're almost done here. So it leads us to this thing here, right? I'm calling it the anatomy of a perfect peak interest. And the only reason why I'm highlighting this flow of information is because it's the very first time you get to talk to anybody. This is so important that if you do it wrong, you'll lose them before you even had a chance to get the person who you're trying to share the information with. And it's truly about less is more. You should only be thinking in the area of piquing their interest. Do not make the mistake of trying to pique the interest, bring them onto the team, train them up. You the only one they ever seen or talked to ever. That's a mistake. It doesn't increase your percentage of effective people that come onto your team. But rather what does increase the effectiveness of everybody who comes on your team is that you use the team concept and your goal is to pique their interest. That is like 95% of what your job is, to pique their interest, right? So use multiple groups of people that are in your life already, is what we believe in here. You know, your friends, your church, your school, your family, social media, sororities, all that stuff. Use people that are already in your sphere of influence. And then you have to actually write a list of some of those names. Bruce and I know Mike Bolton as well, and probably a lot of you on the call already. Anita does it, Anita King. And so we write the names down. And then we kind of pray on it and think about it and determine how we're going to talk to them and everything. And then we share the information with them, and it doesn't matter how it falls on them. It doesn't matter if they say yes, no, maybe, later on. None of that even matters at all because we cleared our mind and we did it in the best way that we thought was possible. So you want to get face-to-face or a live phone call. You do not want to just send an email blindly. You just don't want to send a text blindly. You want to actually, talk with the person that you know, either live on the phone or face-to-face. And you just want to be very, very brief. It's called a peak interest for a reason. You just want to give them enough information, which is our capture page most of the time, which has a ton of information, for them to look at it on their own, right? Don't present the information that's being presented. Does that make sense? Don't tell them everything about us in the 7-minute President Obama video. Don't tell them everything that's on the crowdfunding video. Don't tell them everything. No, you just want to present that and then let them look at it on their own, and then you get back with them. So follow up. The follow-up is important. The follow-up says you should follow up as soon as possible, right? Sometimes that 15 minutes later sometimes. Sometimes it's that night, but sometimes as soon as possible is not until this weekend. It just depends on who you're talking to and what's going on in their life. So you got to listen and really be sympathetic and empathetic, to what's going on with them, and be like, okay, let's just get back together on that. I typically, and let me give you some inside knowledge on my bringing people onto the team. And we bring on a lot of people. I might talk to people for 2 and 3 weeks sometimes. We call it dripping on them, if you want to use a terminology. But we give them a little bit of information, then we give them a little bit more, and then you don't hear from them for 4 or 5 days or a week. And then you might reach back out to them if you feel good about doing that, right? If the vibe is right for you, you'll call them back or text them, be like, hey, let's make that appointment. And a lot of times it's 2, 3, 4 weeks before someone actually made the decision to come on board to the team. But it was from a 3 to 4 week campaign of really giving them what they needed because we were listening to them. Some people really want to get face-to-face with you. And I don't feel that it's necessary to be face-to-face all the time. But some people need it, so I'm going to Panera Bread again. You know what I mean? And we meet up and we talk about it, and because that's what that person needed, even though I don't feel it's necessary to use the face-to-face a whole lot of time, not primarily, So after you follow up, you just want to get off that call. Next slide real quick. Let me see something real quick. Yeah. So you want to pique interest and you want to follow up them. But watch this. Let's do the prep the call. Some of you may have used this step, some of you have not. But the reason why I put this step in here is, to me, it's really one of the most critical steps because it's when you're about to get back with the person. So you want the information that you share with them you want to really have a conversation about that information. And you don't want to be the one presenting. Remember, we said you don't want to be the one that pique the interest and present and close them and train them. You don't want to be that person. So this prep that return call is really, really important. And it says text them to let them know that you're going to be calling them about an hour or so. You're just reminding them. And that gives them a chance that, because they didn't look at your link half the time, big percentage of the time people, they didn't deliberately not look at it, but they just got busy or sidetracked or they forgot about it or whatever. So when you prep them, if they hadn't looked at it yet, which is a big problem, they haven't seen the information yet, and you don't want that, now they might look at it real quickly in preparation for your call because they said that you can call them back, right? That's an appointment. So call them back. The person will have looked at the information. Did you get a chance to see it? Is your first question. And what you like about it, because you're guiding the emotion now. So you're on there with a lot of enthusiasm and excitement to say, hey, I just want to see if you got this information and if you see it the way I see it, because I think it's pretty exciting. What did you like about it? Did you see a chance for you to solve some of your financial, needs or problems that you have or whatever? You can see the format there on the callback. And then finally, the final step on the anatomy of a perfect pique interest conversation is that you invite another leader to the call, right? Yes. You invite another leader to the call because, again, I'm gonna emphasize it one more time because it's so important. You don't want to be the one who piqued the interest, do the follow-up, do the training, get them on the wheel, get their 2 people on board. You just don't want to be the person that's doing all that. You want to include as many people as you can, which coming onto this call is one of the ways that we can actually bring people into the team environment, right? And definitely on a Sunday call. So inform the person by edifying the leader, and let them know they just want to answer your questions. All right, the final thing I say about that is this. Until the person sees some information and has a moment to themselves to evaluate it, they cannot go from an emotional state to a logical state back to an emotional, or vice versa. They can't go from a logical, that makes sense to me, that's the logical, that makes sense, and then get excited like, man, if I do that, oh my God, I can take care of this. That's the emotional, and then come back to the logical and say, yeah, I think with their help, I can really do it. So there's a logical, emotional, logical verification, or there was an emotional reaction initially right away, and then logically they had to verify that with themselves and then come back and be excited about it again. If you're the one that's doing everything, they don't get a chance to process it because they can't process it with you. They have to have some time to look at it on their own, and then you get back with them and check on their status. This is extremely important, right? So think about this and then make it your own. It's not a script, but it's just a pathway to the conversation. Next. All right, here we go. We're almost done here. This is 2-minute overview. Check out this wheel, guys. I took all the numbers off of them, which you might have seen before. And I just show you, if you came onto the 15 red spot, you rotate over to the 5. You can see how on the 15 and the circles on the bottom, it says, if you enter into the wheel on the red number 15 or any other empty red spot, it doesn't have to be 15. When those 4 spots on that side of the wheel are filled in with new members, then you'll rotate up to the orange spot and you'll have 2 red spots behind you. That's where you bring in your first 2 red people, right? That's when when you go to the orange is when you bring in 2 people. However, you know that if you're on a stagnant wheel, then you can put additional members on the red right next to you, right? You don't want to just be sitting there in one spot, the wheel has a split, so you can't put your people on. You do what you got to do to get that wheel to split, and it takes 4 people to do that. The yellow number 3 is when you brought your 2 people in, the other orange person next to you on the top of the wheel, in this example, brought in their 2 people. So you rotate it down to the yellow on the number 3 on the bottom. That's where 4 spots will become available. In this instance, it's 15, 14, 13, and 12, the 4 red spots on the bottom because the wheel rotated. And then finally, you want to, when that happens, you rotate to the middle and you bring in your 8 new members, which will be contributing to your campaign or your venture. So 15, 5, 3, and 1 in this scenario is how everything flow. And the reason why I threw this slide back in here, everybody, is because when you understand, you know, intimately the 2, 4, 8, Bruce, you got to go, man. Okay, I just want to make sure we give you your propers.
Yeah. I was trying to figure out how to tell you. I was trying to get
up, brother?
All right, everybody enjoy.
Bless you, man. Stay warm out there.
Yeah, you see me bundling up. Okay.
I do.
All right, Bruce.
All right.
I got you, man.
Okay, thanks.
All right, man. Peace. God be with you, man. Love you. Okay, so position number 1, when you're in the middle, that's where your 8 people coming in will contribute to you. But remember, it's all based on 2, 4, 8. Everybody got their 2. All right, next slide. So this is just the chart again on the 2, 4, 8. Wanted to make sure everybody know to print this thing out, use it, use it, use it. Go ahead and put your name in number 1. When you bring your 2 people in, they go to yellow. The 4 people go to orange, and the red are the contributing members. They come to you. All right, next line, and then we'll finish this out. It's about the teamwork. So none of this can be done by yourself. So use the team to its maximum capabilities. Use 3-way calls. Use these calls here to train and expose your prospects, even the people who are considering. We call them prospects. They're really not prospects. They're potential team members. It's people that you talk to and they said, man, I do have a financial need. You know, I do want to, use crowdfunding to see if I can, get over the hump. You know, I'm on a fixed income. My car broke down, or I'm really not providing for my children the way that I want to, or, I'm trying to go back to school. I'm trying to move from Virginia to San Antonio. I mean, we got all the stories out there. This crowdfunding can absolutely make it happen for us. And so let me just go back to a slide as I give you the summary, then we'll open it up for some conversation. Any questions you have? Go back. Go back. Bump the wrong. Go to that money slide real quick. The new one, yeah. The new money slide. So y'all know, you may know, a lot of times I don't talk a lot about the money because I want y'all to think of the money as being the result of what we're doing. You don't go and quote unquote chase the money. What you do is you chase people who need a financial blessing. And then you stay true to what you're doing it for. And it's twofold. The ones that are going to be successful are going to be the ones who don't mind contributing to someone else's campaign. They have a heart to give. You got a whole heart to be like, I'm about to plant this blessing, man. I'm about to get this $25 up, and I know this is going to help somebody out. I'm one of their 8, but I'm the best one of their 8. This is the one that's going to archive their will or whatever. And you're going to send that blessing forward, and it's not just going to be $25. It's going to be the blessing attached to it. They're going to get your $25, and they'll be like, man, I don't know what happened the last 4 $25s I got, but when I got this 25, man, I really believe what I got going on here. is your $25. So you got to have that. And then you got to say, and I know that if I do that, my blessings and my prayers do not come back void. It's going to come back, and I'm going to get 8 donations at that same amount. I believe that I can stay consistent enough that I can find 2 people who need a blessing, and I believe that I can help them find their 2 people, and then boom, I got mine, right? I got my 8 contributions back. So I just want to let you know that is the anatomy. That's the emotional side of what the physical thing that you see when you're building 248. You got to have both pieces, though. You can't just be like, oh, I'm gonna get this money. I'm gonna get 2 people, any 2, you and you, come over here. No, it doesn't work that way. It just doesn't work that way. It never have it, it never will. And so what I want to bring to your attention real quick is the first proposal. And this is gonna be a little bit to digest, but it's only gonna take me a minute to explain it though. So we have a question before the mastermind group. We have a question before the mastermind group. And Miss Anita King, you are also a member of the mastermind group, and you didn't know that. But I truly expect I truly respect your mind in this. And so we really, wanted to make sure that we had some people that was going to have that heart that matches their mind, and I appreciate you for that. So look at this real quick. See where there's the 250, the 500, and the 1,000. And for those who can't see it right now, 1,000 is the level 6. It's the 6th level of the 9 levels that are in the Cash Crowdfund levels. Now, if you see there, it says at that level, you can get $15,000 because you come back in. The level before that was the 500, you make $7,400. And the level before that is the 250, where you make $3,400. So from level 1 to level 6, completing it one time by coming back in each time is about $26,000. Here's the question we're going to be spending some time with. How fast do we really want to go to level 9? In level 7, 8, and 9, when you're coming back in, it equals about $250,000. And it doesn't seem like everybody on our team need to have $250,000 next week. We would love to have it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, we can spend it and all that kind of stuff. But I think that we can spend $25,000 pretty good. Now, here's what I'm proposing.
I need it.
You need all 250? And you can get it too. You can get it. So, all right, Anna. So what happens is, we want to bring everybody along with us. So our selflessness allows us to really get everybody who's stagnant on the wheel. So, a large majority, a large percentage of our team members that we brought on board are sitting stagnant on wheels. And we've been trying to find solutions to come back and get them. So we just wanted to, and we're going to be talking about this, and I can't give you every point right now, but just understand that when we come back into those levels, we're picking up people, right? And I got a couple of proposals that we're going to talk about in the mastermind group, which Anna is a member of as well. Yeah, I don't think she knew that either. But we're going to be talking about these things, and we got to really be honest with ourselves, and we really got to do the best what's best for everybody, because we're going to go to all 9 levels, but we're just going to really control our ascent to the 9th level. Okay, with that, let's open it up. Don't ask me any questions about what I just explained to you, because we got to talk about that. But anything else or any question of any kind other than that one, please ask your question.
I have a question.
Anybody but Dr. Malone? No, I'm just kidding.
I have a question.
Who said that?
Jerry.
Jerry, you said?
Yeah, Jerry Walker.
Oh, Jerry, what's going on, sir? Talk to me.
Not much. First, I want to congratulate my daughter for enrolling into the community.
Yeah.
She's on now, Destiny Walker, and she has mailed in her admit fee, and she's ready to go on the wheel.